You can often see boxers from the post-Soviet countries moving on their toes in and out like this, and this type of movement is called the pendulum step. And in today's video, I will try to explain to you how you can learn and practice this type of movement to smash your opponents. For starters, let's talk when to use the pendulum step, its advantages and disadvantages. So, when to use it? It's usually used at the long range, and usually guys who are taller and light on their feet use this style. But if you're a short guy and you're heavy, this probably won't work for you. So, when you're at the long range, it's a good idea to use the pendulum step because it will give you a few advantages. The first one will be that you will be really fast with this type of movement. You are light and you can move really fast, throw punches, and your opponent won't even see them because you also don't telegraph your punches with this type of movement, and you can throw them without your opponent seeing them. And the last advantage will be that you can easily manage the distance. If you're a taller guy, you will keep your opponent at his place with your lead hand and then meet him hard with your rear hand. And those are the three advantages: distance control, then being fast, and throwing punches without your opponent seeing them. And now let's talk about the disadvantages. The first one is that it is really difficult to learn because it will require a lot of time. And the second disadvantage will be that you need like tons of energy to keep moving like this all the time. It requires a lot of energy because you always have to keep your calves, quads, and core engaged. So you better condition your body before learning this. And also I will share with you a tip how you can save your energy and move effectively. And now you know when and why, and let's talk about how you can learn the pendulum step. And now I recommend you to get up if you're sitting or laying and just try to repeat after me each progression. And the first progression will be just get in your fighting stance and then start transferring your body weight from one foot to another just by lifting your heels off the ground, one after another. So I move forward by lifting my rear heel off the ground, and I move backward by lifting my lead heel off the ground. Just move like this for a while. Then start slightly bending your knees, just a little bit, like this. The next progression will be adding a little bounce to this movement, like this. So I just faster pushing myself up and backward, up and forward, like this, and slightly bending my knees. And the next progression will be staying in your fighting stance and bouncing up on your toes. Imagine that you're on the jumping rope, but you keep your fighting stance. You have to lift your feet off the ground just a little bit, maybe half a centimeter, not more, just a little bit. And then let's combine it all together. And now I'm gonna jump forward and backward, and I'm gonna do it faster. And it will look like this. The whole point of this is to move your head in and out. So if you watch from the side, you will see that my head moves in and then out, in, out. And I also save energy by pressing my heel to the ground here and then here. So I don't move on both of my toes all the time because it will just destroy my calves. And instead, I have some time to rest here and have some time to rest here. So here I'm on the toes and here I'm on the whole foot, and vice versa. And then I move like this. And you also have to keep your calves, your quads and core tight all the time so you can effectively move like this. Yeah, and the next progression will be just to keep your hands up and move them along with your pendulum step. So I stay and I move my hands forward when I go in and backward when I move out. And it will look like this. And from here you will be able to throw punches really fast and they won't be that visible. And the next progression will be not moving, just forward and backward, but slightly forward and to the side, and then backward and to the side, like this. When I do this, I rotate my heels and I rotate my shoulders. So I go in and I move my rear shoulder forward. And then I go back and rotate my lead shoulder forward. And you can combine this one time forward, then go backward, then forward into the side, backward, then forward into the side. And let me explain why you need this. And this is because you will throw your rear hand with this type of movement when you go to the side. So you don't just go like this forward because you will be opened and you will be easily countered. But you move your body weight to the side and you move your head out of the attack line. And from here, I'm in a good position to exit with the lead hook. So it will get me back in my fighting stance and I also will hit my opponent. So you move in, then like this to the side and back with the hook. So let's go through all the progressions one more time. Just roll your body weight and transfer it from one foot to another by lifting your heels, then slightly bend your knees, then add a little bounce to this, and then just bounce up, and then combine this all together, then keep your hands up and move them together with your feet, and then add these jumps to the sides. Yeah, that's basically how you move at one spot with the pendulum step. And now let's talk how you can move forward, backward, and to the sides with the pendulum step. And let's start with the movement forward. And for this, for the first progression, we'll need just our regular step. Get in your fighting stance, take a step forward and slightly go down like this. Then bring this foot closer and go up. And it will look like this. Then to go down, to go back, I will need to take a step with my rear foot, go down, and move up with my lead foot, like this. And just try moving like this, forward and backward. Then the next progression will be moving with the pendulum step and doing the same. You go down and then you go up when you bring your foot closer, like this. Slower, it will look like this, but in a real fight I will just decrease the range of motion and move faster like this. Then keep your hands up and move like this, forward and then backwards. You can also change your direction drastically when you move like this, so you don't have to stop and then move forward. You just hit the ground and change direction really fast. And in the same way, you move to the sides. So you take a step to the left, go down, and then go up, down, up, and to the right, like this. And then you do this with the pendulum step. And this way you can move in all directions. Yeah, for example, I'm with an opponent and I see him breaking the distance. And then I will move like this to chase him. And once I can reach him, I will start moving more at one spot. And here I will not like jump like this at him or from him. I will chase him, and here I will shorten the range of motion and I will control him to attack him. And yeah, that's how you move forward, backward, and to the sides. Just try it with a regular step, with this telegraph movement when you go down and up, then decrease the range of motion of this, and then start doing it with the pendulum step and keep your hands up. And now let's talk how you can go forward and backward and to the sides. So if I want to go forward and to the left, I will do one step, second, then third, and fourth. It will go left, right, left, right. I will move and then just move like this. If I want to go backward and to the right, I will go with my rear foot, lead foot, rear, and lead. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I move with my pendulum step and I go like this. And if I want to go forward and to the right, I will take 3 steps. So left, diagonal step with my rear foot, and then I will bring my lead foot to the starting position, and it will look like this. And if I want to go backwards and to the left, I will start with my rear foot, then diagonal step with my lead foot, and then bring this foot to the starting position, and it will look like this. Yeah, that's basically how you move forward, backward, and to the sides. And now let's get into the pivots, weight shifts, and the side steps. And we will begin with the pivot. So start moving with the pendulum step, then I take a step to the left, forward and to the left, and rotate my rear shoulder forward, and from here I will load my lead foot and just pivot to the side and keep moving. And faster it will look like this. I am moving, then I do slip and do a pivot and keep moving. So in and out, then to the side, keep this hand up, it's important, then pivot and keep moving. And one more time faster. And also I can pivot to this side, so I am moving. When my body weight is on my rear foot, I can take a step here. So check out this line. I am moving. I'm taking a step here, and I'm pivoting my rear foot forward. And faster, it will look like this. And from here, I'm continuing to move, and I can also create an angle and attack my opponent. So that's basically how you do pivot to both sides. Here and here. Now let's move to the weight shifts. And yeah, almost forgot. If these progressions are too difficult for you, you can watch my previous video lesson where I explained the pivots and I gave you all the needed simple progressions, and you can go from like this and this and with these pivots. So yeah, definitely check out my previous video and it will all make sense to you. And now let's move to the weight shifts. So the weight shift, I move like this, then once again I'm moving to the side, rotating my rear shoulder forward, and from here I change in my feet and rotating my shoulder. And you can see that I created an angle, and from here I would attack my opponent. So faster it will look like this. And then I will just keep moving. So in and out, then in and out and to the side, creating an angle and keep moving. All together and faster, it will look like this. And also I can create an angle to the other side. So I am moving in and out, and when my body weight is on my lead foot, I take a step forward with my rear foot. I overstep my lead foot, so I'm breaking my stance, and I create an angle. And from here I attack my opponent. So I move like this, then continue attacking him. So I'm moving with my pendulum step. I see the punch coming, I move to the side, and here I can continue moving, or even better, I can counter-attack my opponent if he's in a vulnerable position. And now let's move to the side steps. So basically, you move in and out with the pendulum step, then you rotate your heel and shoulder to the side, move your head out of the attack line, and throw a punch, or just keep this hand for blocking, and bring this foot to the starting position. So you move, and then you just move like this, and continue moving with the pendulum step. I'm seeing my opponent, I'm waiting for his punch, and I move like this. And also I can go to this side. Here I can easily turn for 90 degrees, but to this side it will be a little bit more difficult to turn this much. So you can go like for 45 degrees to the rear side, and that will be enough to dodge a punch. So you move like this, and then move like this, and continue moving. Pendulum step. You move back, see the punch, and yeah, you're in a safe position. And when you're more advanced, you can also add the check hook to the left, and for example, an uppercut to the right. Yeah, that's basically how you do all different types of footwork moves with the pendulum step. And we went from this and to throwing the side steps with the pendulum step. I hope this video was useful, and if you like this, make sure to be subscribed and check out the KO boxing package, which is a training plan that will take you from a complete beginner to an advanced boxer. Thanks for watching, and stay sharp.